Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to The Word on Wall Street. It's your boy, Kushtrim Hawkeye. Most of you know me as Kush. The ones that really know me as Mackie. I'd like to say special shout out to Cahill Records. Correction. Where's my head today? Special shout out to Savannah Records, Cahill Financial Group, and Cahill Capital Inc. Today we are lucky and we are blessed to be here with a good buddy of mine, Mr. Joe CODD. This guy right here is, I can't even tell you, he's part of the team and he has taken off on levels I can't explain. He's a very successful entrepreneur and I'd like to introduce Mr. Joe CODD.
How's everybody doing? Thank you for having me here today. It's good to be here. Good to be in this lifestyle. It was a long way coming. We're going to get into it a little bit, and it's good to be in a good place. It really is good to be here with you, always, you know.
Thank you.
Glad to do the interview with you. I'm excited. Definitely excited to be here.
That's awesome. I appreciate it. As soon as they told me it was you, I was excited. I can't lie. I feel like you are, somebody that when I see every day, I know just by seeing the gentleman you are that you have experienced it all. Like I can tell you've experienced highs, lows, just by the kind of the way you hold yourself.
Yeah, well, definitely life's been a roller coaster. That's for sure. I'm no stranger to the highs. I'm no stranger to the lows. I've learned to deal with both of them and try and grasp the thrill of the highs and the lessons and the lows. And at the end of the day, it's all got me here. So one way or the other, no matter how ugly the lows were, I'm grateful for them because to be in the position I'm in today and live the life that I did live, if all of that got me here, then, I'm happy for it all.
Yeah, I love you for that because let me tell you, they say everybody has a story and, everyone thinks their life is rough. But a guy like you and a story like yours, it's really inspirational because I feel like you have experienced things in your life that should be in a book. To be honest, as soon as I began Googling you, I'm like, oh my God, look at this guy. I'm like as nice as you are, I didn't know, the kind of guy.
Look, tell you the truth, I always wanted to write a book. That's something I get from my mother. Joanne Codd, one of the best women.
Shout out to Mom.
The best, yeah. Shout out to Mama Dukes. Can't forget my father either, Kevin. But truth be told, I always wanted to write a book. At a certain stage of my life, I got very deep into reading, and I never lost that. I fell in love with self-education and stuff like that. Something I would love to do is write a book. Sometimes you think, oh, yeah, my life's so this, so that. But I do think there's a message in my life that could be conveyed to people having tough times, thinking about giving up, thinking that, for them, there's, it's a worthless, hopeless cause, but it's not the truth, and maybe somewhere through this interview, someone could pick up a little bit of inspiration and something like that and some hope. That would be the most important thing to me,
Oh, yeah, I understand that 100%. A lot of times people need to hear something like this to know that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Sure.
And, that's why I appreciate you coming on to this for the fact that you're willing to express, what you've been through and the stages in your life where you realized this is going to make me a better man tomorrow.
Sure. And it's the truth, for me, my life has been lived on Front Street, if I spit on the sidewalk, the neighborhood knew about it within 10 minutes, and then the state knew about it in a half hour. So again, I have no problem with, I'm very comfortable with who I am today. So I have no problem with sharing my story, putting it out there, and hopefully maybe if one person out of this whole thing were to gain a little something from this, then I'm a happy guy,
Yes, sir. Amen to that.
Yeah.
You just need one guy. You just need one.
That's it.
Just to change their life.
Sure.
So, when I kind of want to bring it back to the beginning of molding Mr. Joe CODD, because I feel like the most successful people in life, they have this special energy that backs them up, and it's I feel like it's a little bit of anger. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
Sure.
that's what really helps someone. You know what? I'm so pissed off that happened. I'm never doing it again.
All right. Well, anger is a great energy source. You know, if you use it correctly, anger. I feel like if you harness it into positivity, it can give you a lot of fuel.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's something I learned in my life was using an emotion and putting it towards positivity.
Directing it. Yep.
That wasn't always the case.
Exactly.
A lot of times in my life, those emotions, I became destructive. And I learned through trial and error to use those emotions to be constructive. And unfortunately for most, nowadays I feel like a lot of people do have it easy and stuff like that. And this is why I'll always respect someone going through the grind and, having hard times, because if it's done right, those hard times and those upsets and all of that stuff can really, really, basically project you past, the average person. So, being down and out and beat up and having a hard time in the moment might seem like a curse, but truly it's a blessing if you are willing to see towards the end of the tunnel, see the light at the end of the tunnel. If you keep your eyes short-sighted, that's all you're going to see. If you're willing to just endure a little bit of pain and look forward, the sky's the limit there,
No, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's true.
That is a fact. So, I don't want to get too personal. I know you're...
Get as personal as you want. Seriously. I honestly, like I said, you talk about anything you want, man. For me, I'm happy to. I'm happy to. Hopefully something, if it's personal or not, hopefully something in there, there's a lot in there. Hopefully something in there that is personal or whatever. Maybe we'll touch that one guy, that one girl. So please be free, just... whatever's on your mind, no filter, please.
Because when I'm with you, right,
yeah.
I feel like Italian, and I know that you're a guy that's from the streets, that you went through it. Yeah. So
I'm Italian and Irish, just to fix you there.
Now I know you're a firecracker. My wife is Irish, and
God bless
she's like 5'2" and she's a bully. I'm like, oh my God.
God. But
but what was it like growing up? Because I know back in the day, New York was a rough area, a rough time. What got you into it?
Look, man, when I grew up, she's very fortunate. I grew up in a nice area, Staten Island. There's a lot of stuff going on in the neighborhood in that time. It was very a lot of stuff going on in the street. It was not only okay, it was actually encouraged to hang out in the street in those times. And at a very young age, man, I grew up in a great household. My mother, my father, probably it's two of the best people I've ever met. And that's just not coming from a child's point of view. That's like coming from so many areas. I mean, they really are the salt of the earth. But at the end of the day, I grew up a little hardship at a young age. I had a sibling that had some bipolar issues. There was a lot of drama at the house. There was ambulances coming, police coming, stuff like that. It was it was a lot to deal with being 9, 10 years old, and it introduced me to, I guess you call it trauma, and at that age, it became normal to be in a state of chaos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for years I dealt with that, and I felt like I was the fixer, the adult, the one that had to be strong at a young age, to help my mother and father. And then you fast forward a couple of years, and bang, I get charged with attempted murder. I'm 15 years old, right? And that's like a firecracker going off in someone's face, but it's the truth. I did at 15.
Most kids are trying to tell you what Stone Cold Steve Austin did last night, and you're talking about...
You're sitting in a jail cell I'm getting told you're going to do 25 years. And the ironic thing here is I really did not do it. And this came out later on, but it was 3 painful years. And, I dealt with a lot. 15 years old, that's what's called your identity stage, okay? That's when you're going to be formed into who you are at that age. And I got charged with attempted murder, and I really did not do it. So for 3 years, Every day of my life was, on Front Street in the newspaper, one article after the next.
As a 15-year-old, you're sitting in the cell. What is this? I don't want to be. You said enough.
Talk.
Right.
Sure.
What's going through the 15-year-old's head right there? Were you like, holy shit?
I think I was almost a little bit in shock. We've all seen the mob movies and the stuff like that, so a little bit about me is too naive to realize that this is my life. So I'm like, kind of like a little like, I'm going to keep my mouth shut and do this and do that, which I did. But at the end of the day, yeah, you're 15 years old. You're sitting in a jail cell. The cops at that time were telling me, you're doing 25 years, kid. And that's that. So, yeah, it's a lot on you. They sent me to Spofford, which was a freaking war zone at that time. And I wound up getting bailed out, my mother and father, and they got me out. And then for 3 years, I dealt with, a long court case. And at that age, when you're put in front of a camera and you're basically, like a miniature celebrity in your neighborhood, while it's causing long-term trauma and stress at the time, it almost seems cool. I mean, my teachers used to say to me, Joe, you had a great suit on last night on the news. Fox 5 did a great coverage.
That's wild.
The girls are talking, but do stuff like that. So it's dangerous because in that identity stage, you're saying, wow, I'm getting a lot of justification, glorification for something that was wrong. So when I look back, this is a pivotal moment in my life, which sent me left. And from then on, it was just a rough road. But at the end of that, I did get exonerated. Two of my dear friends, when it came time, when the rubber hit the road, they said, hey, yeah. And they took plea deals and they said, hey, we did it. And Joey didn't do it. And then the kid that got beat up that day, he said, you know what? I don't remember Joe being there. He's a great kid. I wish him nothing but the best. And his two friends did the same also. But the damage was done.
Yeah, that you kind of did the 3 years of suffering there. That's a lot.
Especially not just me, my family.
Yeah, but to be going through that, where another 15-year-old, he's thinking about, I'm gonna play my baseball game. I have a high school a dance or whatever that it is that they're doing, and here you are just being introduced to this.
Right, and it's crazy that you say that because I have a 17-year-old niece. She's, oh my God, I love her. I think about her. I see her worried about how cool her sneakers are. I see her worried about these things, and sometimes I stop and say, "Holy, at that age, I was going to court fighting for my life."
That's
so it's like, what kind of impact does that have? When you're in the moment, it's tough, but it's all relative. Now looking back, it's like, oh my God, 17 years old, this kid, imagine going through that. But at the end of the day, you know what? Like I said, now being who I am, I'm not grateful for it. I'm sure my life might have been a little different, but to be who I am now and gone through that, I'm happy with who I am. So it's definitely it set the foundation for strength and knowing that, you can get past stuff like that. Yep. But that wasn't the end, like it kept going. This is only the first. I know.
This is a little bit. This is just scraping the top a little bit.
Right.
So then, after that, what did you have going on next? Like, how did you recover from after that moment? Like,
I always had good friends. My family was the creme de la creme. They were the best, my family, and they still are. But, this is only the beginning of a long, hard, painful downhill. And, you would think after being exonerated and this and that, you're going to go be a lawyer or something. But the truth is, a couple of years later, I got into a fight, same neighborhood, and I wound up going to Rikers Island for a year. An 18-year-old kid, wound up going to Rikers Island for a year. At the time, you're young, you're dumb, and now you have those 3 years of going to court. So I thought I was cool. I'm getting more attention for the wrong stuff. Man. And, I came home thinking that, hey, this is this is great. This is working for me. You know, I'm cool. I'm hanging out. Girls liking me. Guys are giving me respect. So it really solidified the direction my life was going. You know, it really, really did. And for the next few years, there was one incident after the next. You know, just hanging out in the street, you know, doing drugs, selling drugs, hanging out, thinking things are cool, just really going down the wrong path. Fast forward a few years, a dear friend of mine, we're out for his engagement party. And one thing leads to the next, and he gets stabbed and murdered right in front of his wife-to-be, his fiance,
Wow.
and in front of all of us. And I held him. I held his head when the life left his body.
Wow.
And it was a very hard moment to get through. You know, I not a day goes by I don't think about him. This was my absolute best friend. You know, to watch that happen that day, just more trauma on top of each other. I could tear up watching this.
So sorry about that,
thinking
man.
about this. It was tough. But, you know, it didn't stop. I was a maniac with the motorcycles. I broke my back. I got hooked on painkillers, and I had a very, very hard road with that. I wound up going away to rehab. I came home, and I really found some success in life. I did. I was doing Boar's Head.
Okay.
The routes.
Yes. I love Boar's Head.
Yeah, good stuff.
Honey
good
turkey sliced thin.
Yeah, the honey turkey's good. The honey turkey.
You gotta slice it thin.
It's gotta be sliced thin. If you don't slice it thin,
like, what are you doing?
I'm sorry,
here?
you're a jerk off. Sorry, you can't do that. But yeah, so I found some good success with that. I got very disciplined and regimented. I went to the gym every day. I took work very serious, and I found success. I did. I got my own place. I got my own apartment. I think I was like 25 at this point.
That's awesome.
I was doing great.
So after you were about 18, 19 when they tried hitting you again?
Well, they did, and I did
the
time.
Year? Okay,
I did time.
And while you were in there, you know, I like to hear where someone found their strength. Like I like to hear like
you're gonna laugh.
Like what was keeping you sane at any moment? Like
you want to laugh?
When you were 15, how did you stay sane? When you were 18, how did you stay sane? How did you stay sane? How did you say, all right, it's gonna fucking work?
You're gonna laugh. So this is my third day in there. I'm in a place called OBCC, Otis Bantam Correctional Center. Place is fucking brutal.
Oh, dude.
Holy shit. So I'm in there in a room with 90 men, all sleeping together in bunks. It's called a dorm. And I'm laying there and I'm looking at the ceiling and I say, how the fuck am I going to get through this? And this song comes on the radio. It was Mother Mary by the Beatles. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary. I says, holy shit. Okay, I can do this. I can get through this. I can do this. You know what I mean? Rikers Island at that time was holy shit, the stuff that was going on in there. But yeah, it gave me inspiration. I'm not a holy roller. I'm not a Bible freak, but it put me close to God, and it got me through it. And I did. I wound up being okay.
It's weird how the universe sends.
Oh my God!
The slightest thing, you're like,
talk about it. Yeah. Talk about just like the third day in, it just resonated with me, man. It did. But
so now you serve your time at Rikers, and you begun doing the Boar's Head.
Yes, I did the Boar's Head right after that. But like I spoke about, you know, my friend getting murdered in front of me. I mean, This is my best friend, bled to death in my arms on the night of the kid's engagement party. You can make a movie about that. But
now, was this a party situation, or somebody had issues with him?
It was actually I won't go too far into the details. It was pretty much a stupid crime that this guy did. I'm not going to bring any actual names into this, but it was pretty much for no reason. At the end of the day, just stupid bullshit that could have been avoided and meant nothing, and a good man's life was taken. and a woman's future was taken. She's actually doing fantastic at this point. She's married with children. She pulled through, but at the end of the day, you know, it was tough. It was tough to go through something like that, you know.
I bet.
Yeah, you think about it. It's basically over barroom bullshit. Someone ended up dead. You know, very tough.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
That's like there's no meaning behind it.
No, zero. It was over nothing at all. And you know how it goes. The stories fly and this and that. But at the end of the day, it was over nothing. So, you know, with all those things, yes, I worked. I was started as a helper on a Boar's Head route. You know, I used to wake up at 12:30 every morning. That's 12, midnight plus a half hour every morning. I used to get to the truck at 1:30 in the morning and work till about 4 in the afternoon, 5 days a week.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What time are you going to bed?
I was going to bed at 6, sometimes 7, with the help of NyQuil, of course.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and I just didn't care. I just wanted to have success. I wanted to prove the world, you know, whatever. I always had that fire in me that this is not who I really am. You know what I mean? I was raised better than this, and I just wanted to do it. And I had that going for years. And then when I did break my back, like I told you, I had a great guy I was working for. When I went away, I went to rehab, and he said, Joey, go do what you got to do. And when you come home, your job will be here. And when I did come home, I took off with it. I got very serious about business, very serious about my job, and I took off. And I found some success. I met a woman when I had my apartment. She had moved in with me. She was a great girl. She's actually the mother of my child. I give her a lot of respect. You know, we have our differences, whatever. That's here nor there. She's a good mom, and that's all that counts. And she was with me, and she had gotten pregnant. I did what I thought was the honorable thing to do. I had asked her to marry me, and we took it a step further and bought a home together, renovated the home. By the time my child was born, my daughter, Ava Marie, who I'm working to get back in my life very hard. That's another thing we could dive into. But, you know, when she was born, she was able to come home to a house. We were trying to make a home, you know. I invested every dime, every ounce of energy I had into that. And life was great. 2 cars in the driveway, white fence, house with the backyard. And then, unfortunately, you know, the marriage deteriorated. Me and her did too much, too fast. I was too young to understand the value of what I had and the worth. And, you know, I'm not going to point fingers, you know, but end of the day, it didn't work out. Went through a rough divorce, didn't see my child, and downhill I went. Back into the bad habits, back into it was a rough year, few years after that. After that, I had a lot of ups and downs in there. But ultimately, I wound up hitting basically what you would call rock bottom. And I wound up, years later, I wound up going to federal prison this time.
For what?
We did a...
Jeez.
Committed a crime. You know, this is all on the internet. It was a robbery, and then it was just a stupid crime. Desperate for money, you know, drug problem, the whole bit. And, you know, you're at rock bottom. You don't give a shit what you have to do.
Yep.
And I wound up getting arrested. The feds jammed me up, but it was an informant involved. One thing led to the next. Bottom line, I'm sitting in MDC, Brooklyn. I think I was like 31 at the time. And I'm sitting in MDC, Brooklyn. That's a federal holding center. And I said, at that time, I thought my life was over. I thought I'm doing 20 years. Lawyers come back. They say, Joe, you're going to do about 5. This is okay. So I said to myself, I got a child that I haven't seen. My life is in the absolute gutter. I said, this is it. I says, even if I do all these years, I don't care. I'm not just going to be some loser. So I started reading. I wound up staying there for just about 3 years. I got shipped to Lewisburg in Pennsylvania, which was a pretty tough spot. And then I went to Raybrook up by Canada, a little calmer. But I got introduced to knowledge. through books, and the whole time I read 661 books in just about 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I was there during COVID, so I was locked in the cell most of the time. But what that did was introduced me to knowledge and power and avenues of change. I started reading fiction, which was just entertaining. And then I said to myself, you know what? If I'm sitting here reading, why don't I educate myself? So I started reading philosophy, where I really fell in love with philosophy. And a book that I have to give credit to is it's called Letters of a Stoic by Seneca. Yeah, Epistles of a Stoic, rather, by Seneca. What a book, okay? Every man is going to experience stuff in life. And if you read this book, it has basically like a, an answer to just daily questions. And it taught me that, you can be okay. Yep. You can go through things and be okay. And then another book, I have it on the table over here, is called Around the Year by Emmett Fox. And it's every morning is a passage to read to focus your day on. I got involved with prayer.
I like that.
I got involved with reading. I got involved with affirmations. A book that brought me there was called Self-Mastery Through Conscious Autosuggestion. That's by Emil Koo. Now, Mike Tyson's trainer, Kushtrim, this is an old-timers book. He introduced him to that. And what that book is about is there's your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Now, if you every single day say, I will succeed, I will be okay, I will move forward, I will be a success, I will not entertain bullshit, your conscious mind, after repetition and repetition and repetition, will transfer to your subconscious mind. Now it's not about you saying it. It's about your mind actually believing it. Picture riding a bike, right? At first, you have to learn. Okay. Now, after you learn, that's it. You just know. Your mind knows how to stay balanced. And the same is true with beliefs. So once you pound those beliefs into your head every day, your mind will take it from the conscious to the subconscious. And that's the way it works. I mean, this is no secret. So this guy did that. This guy, Kushtrim, did that to Mike Tyson. Now, Mike Tyson was obviously physically gifted. And, the guy was a fucking animal.
He's a monster.
But he had a guy like Kuss that pounded this book and those philosophies into his head. So I started saying, holy shit, I got addicted to reading.
That's all.
And every day I woke up, all my cellmates used to say, what's this shit on the wall? I'm dealing with guys doing 40 years. I'm saying, look, this is what I do every morning. I would say out loud, I will not be a loser. I will not entertain bullshit. I will succeed. And I had this burning desire in me.
I love this.
That when I come home, all of this story in my past is going to touch somebody. And it's going to show somebody that, hey, I don't care what you're going through. If you believe in your heart and you're willing to put the work in every fucking day, you can succeed. You can come out of whatever bullshit you're in. Now, I'm not saying my story is the worst, but I know for me, the shit I've been through has not been easy. And if you're willing to do it, you will succeed. And I knew that in my head. And I said, you know what? My life's been a fucking mess. But if I can use that to just touch one or two people, then it's all worth it. And it built me into someone where I'm proud to look in the mirror every day.
Yeah.
I was dating a girl, right?
Yep.
Want to hear something funny?
Absolutely.
I'm dating a girl, and this is after I came home, and she's telling me, oh my God, what if we got married? I don't want to use your last name. I swear to God, this is what she says to me. So I said, wait a minute. I understand what you're saying.
That's what.
2 years, 3 years from now, you're gonna be proud to use that last name.
That's awesome.
You're gonna be proud to use that last name.
Hold that.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
so
that.
you're gonna be proud to use that last name.
That's awesome.
She's a good girl.
That's a great.
She's a lawyer from a good girl, but whatever.
That's awesome.
But that was my mind. You know, I know I'm going to succeed.
That's
It's
awesome.
not like I might, I know it. But anyways, not to get off.
No, good.
You know, and in those moments, I said to myself, I really just believed that I can make this pain that I went through, some of it self-inflicted, I'm not going to lie, but I can make this pain worth it to somebody. And I do this on a daily basis. The second I got home, I got put in a halfway house in Brooklyn, and I got put there on a Friday. I went to work on a Monday. I was doing roofing, carrying shingles up and down a ladder.
That's not easy.
No, it wasn't. But I didn't give a shit.
I mean, but you look like, you know.
yeah.
You can handle a couple of...
Physical fitness is another thing that keeps me on the beam.
Mentally, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, but I came
one.
home and I went right to work. And I just never stopped believing that I'm going to be a success. I never stopped with my affirmations. I never stopped with my daily readings. I never stopped when a negative thought came in, stopping, saying, wait a minute, don't feed. If you have a negative wolf on this shoulder and a positive wolf on this shoulder, whoever you feed is going to be the strong one. Mm-hmm. So if you take that negativity and you go, yeah, I'm a fucking loser. Bullshit. You take that in and you say, nope, I'm strong. I'm going to win. Keep feeding that wolf. Next thing you know, he gets big. Next thing you know, this guy's down here. But he's always going to be there, which is the reason why I continue to do the things that got me here. It's not like you get good and then forget about it.
Yes. Like,
you know what I mean?
My brother-in-law told me one time, I was like, nah, I think I have bad luck. That's why I said, I think I have bad luck. He was like, nah.
I thought the same thing.
He's like, nah, it's bullshit. He said, you have to pee every morning, right? I was like, yeah. He said, you have two choices. He said, you can either go pee in the toilet or pee in the bed.
That's very true.
I say it to a bunch of young kids, and they're like, we don't get it. I'm like, one day you'll understand about pee in the bed, because now you have to change the sheets.
Yeah, you gotta sleep in the bed you made.
You know,
very
so that
true.
right there,
very true.
Really, it really makes sense to me.
Yeah, you know, but just to keep rolling, I tell you something. I just, for me, it was pain and hurt. When I was in federal prison, just back up a little, I was there during COVID. So we were locked in our cells. Okay, now this is a cell the size of your bathroom at home with a bunk bed. 2 men living in there. So me and you are living in a fucking bathroom.
That's wild.
Now here's the kicker. We got a half hour out of the cell on Monday to make a quick phone call and a quick shower. Then another half hour out on Wednesday. Then another half hour out on Friday. That was it.
What?
An hour and a half a week. So, you know, it was not the best fucking time to be there.
Like, no sun?
No. Are you kidding me?
I'm like, holy shit.
Lucky to get air.
Hour and 30 minutes of...
Yeah. And at the time, I was so pissed about it. But now looking back, I thank God for it. Because it made me read and read and read and read and read. And it forces you to use your mind. And I really do think, you know, I'm not this guy that, everything is life meant. I truly believe that I was meant to go through that. So that got me reading, you know, and that got me, it just got me to where we had spoke about. But anyways, I came home, I'm doing this roofing stuff, and I'm waking up every day and I'm doing what I got to do. You know, I'm traveling 3 hours to work publicly from the halfway house and 3 hours back, and I'm fucking happy to do it. And then time goes by. I just keep doing what I have to do. Bam, the phone rings. You know, my cousin calls me and says, hey, Joe, look, I might have an opportunity for you. What do you think about coming over here to the office? And I says, yeah, I'm coming.
Just straight up.
Yeah, right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm coming. I did the right thing.
Awesome.
I had a little partnership with this guy. You know, I gave him a couple weeks to get his shit together. I didn't just leave. And I came here. And I said, hey, guys, I don't know shit. 35 years old. On the balls of my ass, I got nothing. Okay? Pretty much zero.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I says, guys, I don't know anything. I'm willing to do any amount of work. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to become a success. Because for me, I'm going to be a success.
I love that.
And if this is going to be the avenue tell me what to do. A great book I read that explained all this to me was called Mastery by Robert Greene. Speaks about, you're not going to open the door and be a master. It's going to take time. You're going to be an apprentice, then you're going to be a journeyman, then your stuff can go on. So once again, the reading that I did was a primer for this. To learn it. Go ahead.
So at what point were you like, you know what, this is it right now? Screw it. Now I'm peeing in my toilet bowl every day. This right now. Screw that. Like
no more piss in the bed.
No more piss in the bed. At what point were you like, this is it? Because for me, honestly speaking, is when I had my kid. When I had my kid, I lost my grandmother. 5 hours later, my daughter's born.
Yeah.
I was so confused with emotion. I'm like, you know what? God is making me understand what life is about right now.
Sure.
So what,
alcoholics call that a moment of clarity. Yeah.
So what was your
epiphany?
Jay-Z has a moment of clarity song.
Yeah,
I love that.
I remember
song.
that album.
But what was your moment of clarity that you're like? Because I love you right now because you're one of my the guys that I'm like example of how to be a great dude. This guy right here, Joe.
Thank you. That means a lot to me because I didn't always get that from people.
And like no bullshit. You just explained to me your whole story, and right now still I'm like, this is a great dude.
Yeah.
Because. I much rather know somebody that went through something than nobody that went through anything at all. Because what do you know about adversity? You know about adversity. I like that you know about adversity.
Adversity breeds strength.
When times are hard, I can look to somebody and be like, "Oh, what can we do about the situation?" You know. So, what was your moment of clarity?
My moment of clarity or my epiphany, was definitely getting thrown in that jail cell for absolutely. Hopeless, helpless act. Whatever. That was my moment of clarity. And then with a clear head, getting a phone call to come over here to Wall Street, I learned not to miss an opportunity. And I just said, okay, hey, I'm carrying fucking shingles up a ladder. This is a chance to potentially really step to the next level. And after going through what I went through and being so dead set on success, seeing an avenue like that open up, you'd have to be a complete idiot to not jump right in there. And I did. And I jumped in. And like I said, that book, Mastery, Robert Greene, was just more ammo in my head to prepare me for starting at the bottom. And I was cool with that because, that's life. Now to do this at 35, it's a little tricky.
But you're beating that thing of you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So for you to be doing this at 35 is really helping. Change that narrative. Like as long as you're willing to learn, as long as you're willing to do it,
the willingness.
That's really it. And I love that.
The willingness.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember when I was in that rehab, this guy said, "Hey, are you willing to change?" And the guy and the kid said, "I'm not willing to do anything." And the kid said, "Well, wait, are you willing to be willing?" And the guy said, "Yeah, okay." I started cracking up. But yeah, you know what it is? It's I don't believe in any of that bullshit. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. No. Yep. When you tell yourself mentally, "I know enough. I'm done learning." That's the absolute answer of a loser. That's a loser, in my opinion. If you can remain humble and teachable and open to the fact that, hey, you don't fucking know everything,
that's a fact.
Yeah, of course it's a fact. And that's what I did when I came here. I'm not a guy that people, when I got here, guys were almost like nervous to tell me I was doing something wrong. I said, hey, everything about my past life, please put it over here. Seriously, please. You can tell me I'm fucking up. So guys hear this. I said, look, please, stop. And I came in.
You tell him. No, you tell him.
and I came in and I had this attitude of, hey, look, guys, I want you to just, I know nothing. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to do whatever amount of work it takes. And I'm willing to ask questions and be told answers. I'm humble enough to know that I'm stepping into the arena I know nothing about. And I started learning. I was commuting from Staten Island to Wall Street. My whole commute, I would watch YouTube videos about this craft and how to hone it and what to do. And I became literally addicted to it. And
That's pretty cool.
I sat here every day with open ears. And again, I remained teachable. And that attitude added to a burning desire for success has got me, I'm not going to say I'm fucking Donald Trump, but I'm certainly not squeezing pennies.
Yeah, exactly. You can afford a nice steak.
I'm doing okay, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing okay. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm okay up here and in here.
Yep.
And that's like the most important thing to me. And truthfully, when you're okay here and here, the money's going to follow. The happiness is going to follow, man.
Because you're doing what you love. It's fun. You're not stressing it.
You're happy to get up and grind every day. You're happy to do these things. So the money's going to follow. You know what I mean? It's like if you just chase money, you're going to chase the wrong areas. You're going to go to that job that sucks just for the money and eventually become miserable. My goal and mission in life has just been to be successful and help someone else. And when you have that mentality, or when I had that mentality, all of a sudden the money started following, man. The good things started coming. I'm working really hard in court. I'm pretty close to getting my daughter back in my life. I've gained the respect of my peers again.
Awesome.
My mother and father look at me to help. I am not looked at as just, hey, you got a party, don't invite them. I've gained respect amongst my peers. Like I said, things have been consistently since that day I decided which way I wanted to take my life, consistently getting better. Now, if you look at it on a graph, that might be up and down a little and up, but at the end of the day, from A to Z is up, bottom moving up. And that solely comes from doing the work every day. Once people get good in their life, they tend to forget what got them there. And that's a big mistake of a lot of people.
Oh, yes.
Sure.
They get comfortable.
Sure. Complacency.
Yeah. My one buddy said a lot of people don't level up to their next level of comfort.
Correct.
Like, they get comfortable there and boom, they don't want to move.
Correct.
Like,
discomfort. You need it.
Yeah. Level up. Be comfortable in first class. Because right now you're comfortable in business, and that's it. They're not ready to be comfortable in first class,
And then you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable with first class and getting that private jet.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
It's discomfort.
Yep.
Like, for me, it was a fucking jail cell with another guy. That's what got me to go forward.
I bet.
If you don't have consequence and if you don't level up your paradigms, you'll never move up. You know what I mean? For a person like some people out there, they're comfortable. They're content. I'm not that person.
Yep.
I constantly want to better and better and better. And yes, there's selfish reasons in there, but a lot of my reasons are to show someone else that it's possible. My life on paper, I'm not supposed to be sitting here with you. I'm not supposed to be sitting here with you. So if I can go through that shit and then somehow show that, oh my God, this fucking train wreck is here.
Look at that.
What's stopping me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, yes, discomfort is usually the fuel to take you up a level. But like I said, it's the things that got me here that I do daily. I read this daily reading every morning. It's it has to do with the Bible. It just has to do with some inner strength stuff for you to focus on for the day. I continue to read my affirmations every single day. Maybe I'll shoot you guys a picture for the cast if you want. I have no problem sharing that. I continue to ask when I'm wrong. Sure, okay, these guys are telling me 5 minutes. I can go on for 5 hours. But yeah, at the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff that I continue to do, and I'm happy to do it. A lot of people get upset when they have to do work. I'm happy to do this because I'm happy with who I am today, and going through these ups and downs and in and outs. Yeah, it was painful. Holy shit, it was painful. But hindsight is 20/20, man. And if I can do all of that and benefit someone else, then I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it. My goals never end. I write them down. I'm getting very close to having my daughter in my life. Like I said, about gaining respect from people. This is just one chapter. I hope we could talk again and hopefully get to me telling you, hey, I'm with my daughter. Hey, I purchased another home. Right now, I have a beautiful, beautiful woman in my life. I've never felt love like this. I've never been supported like this. Joan, if you're watching, you know I love you. Awesome. Her son Joseph, big part of my life. Oh wow, I'm tearing up again. But at the end of the day, life's blessings have been so worth it all. And if I had to go through all that shit to get here and sit next to you and talk to everybody else who's listening about this, I'd fucking do it 5 times.
Yeah, I was gonna say, honestly, selfishly speaking, I was gonna say, you know, it's kind of messed up that you went through what you went through, but had you not done that, I wouldn't have met you.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm sorry. I really am sorry. But, yeah, I have so much love for you. That's why I'm
likewise, man.
Likewise. I'm great. I have so much gratitude that you're sitting here. You have the story that you're telling. A lot of people keep the story to themselves.
Nah,
you know,
man. It's pointless if I keep it to myself. That's not my mission.
Yeah, man. Like, I feel like this right here is gonna hit somebody that's lost and feeling down and out. You know,
and I hope it does, because that's really the goal of my life, man. I want the mistakes I've made, which have been many. I want the things that have just been completely stupid, and some things that have been thrown on me for no reason. I want that to serve as a, hey, if he did it, I could do it. And if that helps one fucking person, I'll go to sleep happy, man.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. Well, Joe, CODD, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you for just coming and giving us a couple minutes. No, seriously, you're a blessing, man. Thank you so much.
Really, it's been a pleasure. I hope somebody out there catches something good.
Yes, sir. All right. I want to say special shout out to Cahill Financial Group, Savannah Records, and Cahill Capital. Shout out to Tommy and Mikey. We appreciate you guys so much.
I'd be lost without them.
We'll tune in. Yes, you and me both. You and me both. Tune in. You'll catch this on Savannah Records on Instagram. Peace and love.